Well, welcome. I'm super excited to be speaking with you today. What I'm going to do is just speak briefly about what the overview of this time will look like. So we'll be in this room together for approximately 20 minutes or so. Throughout this process, we'll be engaging in a variety of questions. Some of our questions will be open-ended questions where we're looking to get more insight into who you are and some of the work experience that you've had at this point. And other questions are going to be more scenario-based questions where we may ask you to talk through or demonstrate some of your learnings through an activity. Prior to this interview, we asked all students to pre-identify a tech-specific role that they would be interested in. Have you been able to pre-identify a role yet?
Yes, I was looking into the project coordination role, but as of right now, I also am interested in IT help desk.
IT help desk? Okay.
So when you're thinking about answering some of our questions during this interview time, through what lens would you feel most comfortable interviewing for? Would it be the project coordination or the IT support?
Project coordination.
All right, project coordination.
Okay.
All right, so we'll begin.
So just to start off, can you tell me, or tell us, what you were doing before Europe, and then how you heard about the program, and then why you decided to join the program?
What I was doing before Europe, I was working security. I was working odd jobs as well, food delivery, and I was babysitting. I also have a 4-year-old son currently right now that I was taking care of, and I was just trying to make ends meet. The way I heard about the program was my brother attended this program. I got like 5 cousins that been to this program as well, and their success story touched me because they're kind of doing the same thing as me, just going in the streets, trying to get a job, and it was really difficult, you know. And me being a family man and all, I needed a change, so that's why I tried to join Europe, and then I got into Europe, and now slowly my life is gradually changing, and I'm excited to be here.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Why do you want to work in the tech field?
I want to work in the tech field because I like how technology changes over time. It just doesn't stay the same. It's always something new to learn. I've heard from different instructors that if you get certifications, you don't just stay with those certifications. You always have to have the ability to keep learning more and more. So I get bored easily just staying on one thing. I always want to learn more and more. So that's how I feel like technology really it gives me some passion to actually try to learn more and more. Before Europe, I wasn't interested in technology, but soon, slowly I started learning more and more, and I got excited about learning. So technology is something that I know in the future is going to help me get a job, and there will always be jobs for it. And also, you know, my kids growing up, I'll be able to be at least a couple steps ahead of them and, you know, teach them basic things, you know.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So what would you say was your biggest challenge or your biggest growth area during the learning and development phase?
Biggest growth area for me was my professionalism, and coming in here being before high school I was a class clown. I kind of came with that mentality over here. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make everybody laugh and try to just, float by, and I have a vibrant personality, and since L&D I've received feedback and I've been open to feedback. I've asked staff and peers to give me feedback. So what I did was I found a way to balance my feedback out. So sometimes if I have a joke, we get a break in between classes and lunch, I write down my joke on a piece of paper on my notebook, and then I go tell my friends later. We laugh about it during our breaks. Then I come back and I carry my professional brand all the way through. So I believe it's code switching, and I'm doing well with that.
So what specifically do you think your plan will be going forward to ensure success in that area of the code switching while you're at internship?
While I'm at internship, I have to be responsible. I have to hold myself accountable. So I don't have staff looking over my shoulder and telling me what I'm doing wrong. It's pretty much me. So I'm going to look like everyone's looking at me while I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do. And it's going to help me get further in life and other jobs, because after internship, I continue to go back to school, and I'm going to carry myself the way I do, because since I've learned how to, build my professional brand, I want to keep up with it.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Okay, so your next question here. Explain what makes you a strong candidate for a project coordination position at an internship.
What makes me a strong candidate is that I pay attention to detail. I'm not lazy. I like to work well with others. I like to listen to other people's ideas, and I don't want to just be looked as a leader, because I've heard that a good leader is a good follower as well. So what I'm trying to do is pay attention, work well with others, get feedback, and give feedback. And that way it's going to help me grow within the field. And I don't plan on staying in project coordination. I want to move up to become a project manager. So what I'm going to try to do is, I've been networking while I've been here, and I've been meeting a lot of people at different companies outside of Europe. And I'm going to ask them the tasks that they do and if they're willing to teach me, which I've already set up a few coffee lunch dates with them.
Good, excellent.
Great. So I'm about to give you a scenario-based question for this one. So I'll read the scenario, you tell me what you do in the situation. So if I ask you to schedule and run a weekly 15-minute stand-up check-in meeting with the team so that we can update each other on the projects that we're working on, how would you do that?
So you're pretty much saying, how would I set up a meeting beforehand?
To have a regular check-in meeting for 15 minutes with an entire team, and it was your responsibility to set that up.
Okay.
How would you go about doing that?
I would go about it is first I would open up my email Outlook. I would CC everyone, and I'll let them know maybe a week in advance that, look, this is what's going to happen. I'll have the agenda laid out. When I have the agenda laid out, I'll tell them exactly what we're going to talk about, and also I'll actually make it 20 minutes, 5 minutes for questions or anything beforehand, so that way we can follow up, and if any issues arise, we could take care of them right there and just put everything out on the table. No surprises. They would have plenty of time to get their questions in order and have any feedback from me, because feedback's good for me to grow. So I'll do it that way.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, so what has been your greatest accomplishment here at Europe?
There's so many. Okay, one of the greatest accomplishments that I've had at Europe is, just being able to work hard and actually make it through. Because sometimes I would have a difficult time, such as when I was in web dev, learning how to code, and I missed one day. It threw me back in Carlin's class, and it put me back where I couldn't even, focus anymore, and I'm stressing just trying to make the deliverables come in. So I learned how to, talk to my peers and get help from them instead of just asking someone just do the work for me or anything like that. I stayed after school until I had to go to work, and I actually paid attention to little tutorials on YouTube, and I learned how to code slowly. Yeah, I had a few mistakes, and it wasn't right at first, but the thing is that I didn't give up. And with that, just that lesson right there, I used to stay so many hours, like I didn't have any time for any of my family members, barely made it to work on time, but I was able to still fit that in and know that I needed to knock that out while still all my friends are going out. It was a really big challenge for me, but I feel like if I keep that up in the work world, it's going to get me further.
Good. Excellent, thank you.
What would you say makes you stand out amongst your peers in the workplace?
What makes me stand out is if I'm even having a bad day, I come with a positive attitude. I don't really show my emotions too much. If I have any problems, I confront them about it, but I don't go about it in an angry, disrespectful way. I pretty much put everything on the table. I'm like an open book if I can be, so that way I could get someone to understand where I'm coming from. And that's what's different about me, is just I carry a positive attitude wherever I go. Even though if I'm stressed out or something, if I need to go step out, take a breather, relax, I come back in, and then I get to work, and I try to keep it that way throughout my whole program and just in life in general.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. This concludes the first part of the interview, and we